Well, not here. Seems to be out of the ordinary, though I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably, probably pacing around outside again. Staring off into the distance, all that sighing. Strange. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress.
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Oh boy.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
It's her little Alfiekins.
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
That is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
What? What happened?
We had a fight.
It all began after the events at Mount Golg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see.
No one wanted to take up and be in
After a
charge.
lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Eulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well, considering it is a bit his fault of your current predicament. I mean, if it wasn't for
given the manner in
him.
which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
Well, that too.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice.
Indeed.
Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
How much you want to bet he's going to be down in the slums? Just hanging.
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee? Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
He was kidnapped.
You truly think so?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, he's a glutton for punishment.
What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
He's dead. Please say it. Yeah, no, I think he's gone. Nah. He doesn't strike me as that type of guy.
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return. Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Wait, what? I thought he was going to return.
you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
Well, I have a note. I hope you have a plan, because you dragged us into this one. Spawn. Spawn? There you go. It makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word. Even if he had, he wouldn't have done so unobserved. Someone here has to have seen something. I'm sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to see if anyone saw him leave, or falling, or that, or any other idea where he's gone. I'll meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later. Of course, now we gotta go find out. Clues. Master Chai, why yes, I spoke to him yesterday, just recently. I recall he was in a rather dour mood, concerned about Eulmore's neglect of industry, you see, with Lord Valthry apparently inexhaustible stores of meal, and no great need of money. It's little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. But rest assured, Master Chai and that boutique of splendors will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Eulmore, which seems to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. So we've learned that he was concerned with the poor conditions of trade. Now, where's the buttress? Oh, it's right at the Glory Gate. Okay. Hey, Hathenbet. I recall a man fitting that description. Asked to speak to the poor buggers lately coming from right. Said he wanted to know the state of things down in the derelicts. And you can be sure I gave him an earful. Like food, medicine, clothing, there's plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folk here don't just want to survive, they want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself. Something about finding his work, I think. Fair play to him. Not content with having his ear chewed off about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all that. After that, I can't really say. He looked like he was headed to Gate Town last time I saw him. We're here in the Glory Gate. Looking for Master Chai, are you? Something amiss? When last I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while about his concerns with the city defenses, amongst other things. He made more than a few valid points, while many of our men are still recovering from confrontation with Lord Vothry. And finding General Ranjit in the middle of a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty. Some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitting, I proposed replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts in Gate Town. We have a duty to protect not only Eulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Calusia as well. And I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. Okay, so he was headed to Gate Town, which is out there. Oh, there you are. How did you fare? Did you learn anything about the might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? Well, I could tell you I learned that he's worried about the defenses and the business and the poor. Interesting. He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. Discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Eulmore. An idea which the proprietor seemed surprisingly receptive. It sounds like he's got big plans for the place. Eulmore, I mean, not the bee. But perhaps the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern not only for Eulmore, but for the surrounding settlements. Seems logical then, having consulted those within the city walls, that he would wish to do the same without. Fracurian, would you make inquiries and write? I'll likewise do in Stilltide. Gate Town, I leave to you, Kaishia. Fair enough. Where should I meet when we've finished? Well, top rung would seem to be his next most likely destination. Let's reconvene there. Without any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then, and if not, we will be well situated to continue our search. And then meanwhile, a bunch of robot planes blew up a bunch of dwarven settlements. That's the Yorha stuff. I don't know if the Yorha stuff has changed where it's... Is it unlimited loot in the copied factory yet? Or is it still just one drop per week? Does anyone know? I don't know. No, the name doesn't ring a bell. But there was a rather dapper-looking mistle chap. Gentleman here not too long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Eulmore, rather the lack of them. We lost a great many people to the promises of Mule and the chance to live a lavish life among the free. And Vothry thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men he had to lift his guard his paradise. I needn't tell you what happened when the Sin-Eaters came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Valthry's gone now, and we're curious what will become of Eulmore in his absence. Tell you what I told your friend, Chai Nuz, was it? I'm pretty sure the others said the same thing. Not that they wanted to hear, I suppose, but he left soon after. That was that. Let's see, is Alphino going to be down here or at the top? He's at the top. Loop-de-loops! So he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town. I see. Kaishia and I gleamed much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill he might remain amongst the settlements of Clusia. The only likely place he has left to go is being Amity. The Amity horror. Come, if we are quick, we might be able to catch up with him yet. Oh! Hey, Chinos. What the hell am I going to do with my life? Vicarian! Oh, this is him. Vicarian, Alphino to Kaishia. What are you doing here? Well, we came to ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai seems to be nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims to be with you disappeared without as much as a word, and bade us to return you to her side. What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it, and when she gets an idea in her head, I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai, but since we are here, we ask what compelled you to come all this way. We were told you've been elected mayor, and that you had, and from what we have gathered, by the nearby villages, you've been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? No, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek out to learn about the problems faced by the people of Clusia, and that much is true. But I, by no means, I'm sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. Really? Because in the Animal Crossing, all you need to do is show up on a bus. I see. And if you believe said resources can be found here? Indeed. The grievances of the people are many. But in the course of my inquiries, I have already met several individuals willing to lend an aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans. A man whose counsel might make me mayor of me. Ah! With respect, such forethought is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai. I'm certain this man of whom you speak, whoever it might be, will be able to reach the same conclusion. For what little it's worth, we will vouch for you, and should he require convincing. Hey, whatever you need, we got us. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I've ever wanted to do was make it into Eulmore. But that dream's gone now. Burst like a bubble. Or a boil, more like. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alpha Node, I haven't a clue what to do with myself. Spent most of my days in a daze, you know? Been running up and down, trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you could do it. You got this lot up Gulg, didn't you? How hard can marrying be? You're going to steer Eulmore to a better future. I know it. I want to help. Properly help. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is, sir. Yeah, it is yet. But I'll work it out along the way. If you let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you. But I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let's press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. Well, it'd be much to get ahead of ourselves. Eulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I'm here, to find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly? Why are you certain he's here in Amity? Rendon is his name, and yes, he is, or was. I had to scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Valthry's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right-hand man, Rendon was the left, and between them, they kept Eulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. But even if you do, what will make them listen? Before giving chase, might it be wise to speak to those who know him here in Amity? They might be able to shed some light on the reason for this, rejecting your overtures out of hand. Ah yes, I suppose that makes some sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal then. As I recall, it made a favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. Yay, let's talk to Tristal. Ah, greetings, friend. And you too, Master Chai. I presume you're here to ask about Rendon? Couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Yes, well, with Valthry gone, Eulmore wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Rendon's counsel, in the hope that we could help build a better Eulmore together. At least that's my wish. Given how abominably you were mistreated here, I will quite understand if you choose not to help. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Eulmore. I would not see you suffer for Valthry's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Rendon can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, but little patience for anyone who deems less committed to their own. You desire to right the wrongs of the past? Eulmore's past? It's quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes. It's the way you carry yourself. It goes on without saying that he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive. Commit to the course. And prove to him Eulmore has more resolve to change. The resolve to change. I believe he was heading down to Pit 8 when you left. If you plan to go and speak to him, I should just be firm and clear with your intentions. Very well. To Pit 8 we shall go. And I will not take no for an answer. Nay, not even a maybe. Let's Pit 8. Oh, there's this little thing up the hill here. Next to the Gulgnews.
Well, well, it's you again. Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
No, I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Eulmoreans. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Forthry's villainy, the famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Yes.
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Forthry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Word.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Eulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Forthry was creating. And so I left my homeland behind.
But you kept the funny-looking outfit.
But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under
What's
Forthry's
Chai News?
auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I can offer no simple answer to that question.
What? That's a good answer.
This much I will say.
I mean, think about it. There shouldn't be a simple answer to that question. If you have a simple answer to that question, it would be like Vothry. You know, it'd be like, oh, what type of nation do you want to build? Paradise. That's a simple answer, but it's not a good answer. Nations are more complex than that. So a simple answer, not having a simple answer, I think was actually a very good response.
It is my hope that Eulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Eulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with Forthry. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive.
I was not expecting this entire thing to turn into a message about socialism. That's... I mean, I guess considering the message that was being hammered home with Vothri and Eulmore at the beginning, it's not really that surprising that that's where they're going with it, but...
To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur.
I mean, you could tell him how you literally walked up and down the entire countryside to consult with everybody about the problems that the nation's facing.
My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Eulmore for the people.
A Eulmore for the people. I rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
Okay.
You would?
You want to have fight? Want to fight?
You ask me to help you solve Eulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own.
He helped us get to
Accomplish
Mount
that,
Golg.
and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
Okay. So what are we trying to solve? Right. Is there a particular issue you would like me to resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Eulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Ah, yes. You're neither a desirable nor less sustainable option. I assume alternative food stores will not have to require to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not likely to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. Damn, this game is woke as hell. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, I will consider offering you my counsel. A combination of measures would seem to be in the order. One, to address the immediate issue of supply. Another, that of production. Go on. For the present, Eulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbours. This would afford us the time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as a source of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated. That means their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle the relations with our neighbours, guaranteed security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My, think of all that yourself, did you? Well, yes. Began with a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago. People speaking of the peoples of Eulmore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chinos. Yeah, I have. Yeah, that's a relief. Oh, but you haven't secured my support just yet. Only my attention. Grand plans will be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them with a means to do so. A fair point, Rendon, and one which I have given much thought. I propose the use of a talos to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment could drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos? But Daedalus Stoneworks closed the door years ago. Without a ready supply of necessary equipment, people would starve with your plans be put in effect. Well, as the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that Talos are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite sure we can acquire what we need in no time at all. Yay! Rendon is quite right. Building a Talos from scratch would take time we do not have, which is why I propose we use the long-abandoned Talos which wanders the wilds of Calusia. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if the memory serves, the tools required will be at the top rung. I like how they just walk around with their hands up. Aha, the old memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with a dastardly potent insulating powder capable of halting the flow of ether in a Talos. We only need to get them within throwing distance and let one fly, thus disabling them without damaging them. Ingenious. An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it should be simple enough to get them to march to Eulmore. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I would ask you to run along and do the deed, but as I said before, it is high time we learn to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is even something I should be able to manage. Come off it, Master Jai. Even if the Talos isn't a threat, there's 101 things that could be out there making meal of you. Yeah. And that may be, Kaishir, but Rendon tasked me with solving this problem. I want to sit idly by while others risk everything to see my harebrained schemes through. Not this time. Which is to say that mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. But if I'm to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Jai. Yes, well, it should go without saying that I have no intentions of dying for this. I always prefer to see living out to see the fruits of my labor. And to make sure I do, I will require help. It is as Kaishia says, these lands are dangerous. If one is not careful, I would ask you to use my spyglass to look out for any beasts that could get in the way of my work. You'll also need to alert me if it's safe to subdue the Talos, understood? Oh yay, more spyglass missions. Good. Then I'll be off to the quick way, to the north gate. If I see anything suitable vantage point for you... I misread that, didn't I? Oh. My destination is right here. Oh, okay, I gotta click him. Yay! I did it! I did it! Let's move on to another Talos, shall we? So we gotta wait for everything to have their backs turned? Oh, no, those rock things came back. The rock bombs. Oh, now they went away. The Talos is still there. There! Oh no! You did turn around. Come back! Failed. Do I have to do all of them over again? Yes, I do! Shoot. Let's skip the scene. We already saw that. Alright. So. Wait for everything. No! Wait, that worked? Okay, I'll take it. I do believe I'm getting the hang of this. You may leave the next one to me, Valkyrian. There we go. Haha! That should do it. Now we have all we need to proceed. Did he just? That was hilarious. Victory theme for Chinese. That was great. I scarcely believe it. It was a reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. I did it. Master Chai, I believe I owe you an apology. You plan to replenish Eulmore's food stores, showed forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it's plain that your time at Daedalus Stonework has kept you equipped to lead, as evidenced by your extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more than qualified to be the next mayor of Eulmore. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains, I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics. That's why I ask you to join me and grant the Eulmore the benefit of your counsel. I would be honored. When the people behold these Talos, I have no doubt they will lend you your support. With would seem Eulmore's leadership is at last in capable hands. Would you not agree? We should probably be getting back soon, Master Chai. After you've tinkered with the Talos and all that, Lady Chai is worried sick. Can you just ride the Talos back?
Right. Right then. Form a line and make for Eulmore.
Huh?
What's that noise?
Ah! Invasion! Invasion!
Wicked White! Runaway Talos! Call the guard!
I did think it was an invasion. Go fig.
Stay back! All of you!
I do like the Eulmore, or their soldiers' armor, like the purple and gold and.
Is that... Darling, you're back.
I left you a letter.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see.
I'm always glad when they actually bring in like some of the animation stuff from like the Hildebrand quest into like, because you can forget that they could do all that stuff in engine with like the cutscenes and stuff like that. Because normally they just use like the base. Did she literally kill him? Oh my god! She hugged him to death.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, no, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
Does that mean you'll do it?
What letter?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you understand? Oh, no, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor. And now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Yay!
Oh, how wonderful!
Please!
Shaking him about. Ah! Talos butt. It was quite the reception. One Master Chai will struggle to forget. More seriously, the arrival of the Talos has seized the public's attention. Once word has spread around Eulmore, I'm sure it'll be much simpler to get one and all, to gather one and all, so that Master Chai can make his inaugural address. Despite the butterflies in his stomach. The only thing in his stomach, I think. Pieces of his ribs are in there too. No need to fret, Vicarian. I've never felt better. Yay! Not at all overwrought by the prospect of addressing the assembled masses of Eulmore. As for what to do it, I think we need to accommodate everyone who might feasibly wish to attend. I suppose the only place large enough would be the Emergent. And I will go and spread the word amongst the citizens, both free and bonded, that they may assemble there to meet the new mayor. You there, Kai Shear, was it? Would you go and inform the residents of Gate Town and the derelicts? Of course I will. Good lad. I'll let the guards know not to bar the way to Valthry's chambers. It goes without saying that I will expect the Warrior of Darkness to attend, assuming he's available. Might as well see it through to the bitter end, eh? The doorman at the Crown Lift will show you up. To the top floor. Oh yes, Master Chai told us to expect you. The Emergent is already filling up with people of all persuasions, free and bonded, citizens and non. But for you, our guest runner, we have reserved a place right at the front. Right this way, sir. This is everyone?
Go on, dear.
Those two are like the best couple. Really.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Eulmore to look around? It is a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Forthry's rule. Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gate Town too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Eulmore's new beginning.
I came for the cake.
As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Vorthry. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness.
Good dude. Good dude.
Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor who will serve only for the interim, while Eulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values.
He is the mayor, not a king.
No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Vorthry must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Eulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today. Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There
Like the
is
shaved
much
head on this
and
guy.
more that needs to be done.
This is the cool, like, tattoo mark shaved into his head. There's one other person. It doesn't have the cool appearance. Like the shabby guy in the background with just a monocle for some reason.
Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night. Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future.
Where is that person that had the really cool outfit? There's the weird guy with the, like, drab outfit and one monocle.
Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength for Eulmore!
There, her. She's awesome. I like her outfit. I'm same with her. They have cool outfits. There's the guy with the monocle. I want to know what his deal is. And that shield is awesome. The black, gold, and the red gem. Ugh, I love that stuff. Now go collect 100 Talos pieces so we can build a Talos. Enough Talos to serve everyone. That would be your final quest. Okay, now it's loading again. It was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believed your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stirred them to action, I hope. I have learned anything from all this. It's that change begins with the individual. Tis but a matter of finding the strength to take the first step. Assuming my fellow Eulmorans can, it shall be my honors and privilege to help them walk this road that they have chosen. But we must not forget the individuals who made all these changes possible. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which the city stands. Oh, and for the Warrior of Darkness, too. What are you talking about? This is Fortnite. We will not be moving into Emergent, dearest. It's too big for one. And too far for people from another. We will retain our current residence here, and will govern from here in the parlor. Oh, I was hoping you would say that. I much prefer the view from the parlor. Begging your pardon, Master Chai, but two of you got time for a word. Ah, yes, of course. Havenbet? Aye, that's me. I liked your speech. But there's more folks outside these walls who don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow, and who are counting on their crumbs. If you've got a plan to change that, I want to help set things in motion. Then we have much to discuss. No sooner do I take office than the work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought this upon myself. Thank you again for your help, Valkyrian. I hope to see you again before long. What a day. I don't know exactly what it means, but I've got plenty to think about. It means a revolution. I sense that we all have a great deal to consider. I had resolved to remain here until such times as Eulmore's future was secured, but it's clear to me now that the city is in capable hands. I have every confidence that they will find their way, and I believe it is time we went on ours. So Alphanote's leaving too, is he? Seems like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about what I should do in all this. Like I told you, I spent most of my life dreaming about living here with my friends in paradise. The paradise is gone, but something better is taking its place. And I reckon I want to be part of it. This Eulmore for the people Master Chai's been going on about isn't going to build itself after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and my friends find a way to make a difference, though. Help keep changing things for the better. Far nobler dreams than the ones you clung before, but I am happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I pray for your success. Oh, that was Alphanote. It was like it was Kaishir. Well, when you say it like that, there's no going back now, is there? We got a few ideas on how to do our bit. Just a matter of taking the first step. Truly, to see Kai Shir thus inspired by our actions is inspiring in itself. Yet, however much I may wish to stay and see what comes of all this, his efforts here in Eulmore, we have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we should return to the Crystal Tower. Maybe Backlug's studies have borne fruit in our absence. Wait, no, don't teleport back to Eulmore. I'm in Eulmore. Actually, I could just return to Crystarium. Docile Gate is the one for the front of... Yeah, okay. All right. Any news? Hopefully something good. Welcome back. We are given to understanding a new mayor has taken office in Eulmore. Indeed, our good friend Master Chai was elected by popular vote, and after some considerable soul-searching, he chose to accept the post. It's a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you will see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Oversight? We didn't. Oh, yeah. Our work did not proceed quite as expected. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transferences, and concluded at length that White Oversight was ill-suited for our purposes. But Urianger, did you not say, compared to the massy soul of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did. And armed as we are with Beckluck's invaluable insight, 'twould indeed prove to be a trifling matter, but we are to disregard the inviolable link twixt mind and soul, a link which would, we did belated realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant as Oversight doth require. Thus, the shedding of these fleshy simulacra, and the forfeit of the ether which compromiseth them, would all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. It would. Would it be possible to channel your minds into the Oversight instead? But we would more likely sacrifice your souls in that process, which is why we have to abandon that plan, instead of devoting our time to the means by which the soul might be transported together. Then we are no closer to a solution than when we first began. It's a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has posited the most intriguing solution. We just kill you all. When our discussion turned to the transference of memories of the psyche, I could not help but be reminded of a technique by which I have personal experience. Valkyrian, do you recall what we learned about my eyes in our encounter with Doga and Uni? I speak of the royal eye of Allegan imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of the ancient Allegans. No. Don't! Ah! I swore if this came back and got the Alligans involved again, I swear if that's the solution. Everything is always the Alligans. They are responsible for every good and bad thing that has happened on Eorzea. If we were to gain understanding of the technology by which the Alligans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep in mind and body and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also bountiful energies of the soul. And that is our current avenue of investigation, and we will follow it wherever it leads. While we are thus engaged, I think it'd be better for Vicarian to return to the source and inform Krile and the others of our findings. Agreed. I imagine Tataru would be relieved to hear that we've made progress of sorts. Then I would beg leave our relay to find... Then I would beg leave to find a relay for our findings unto Thancred and Reen, and to assist in where I may investigation of the empty. Yes, please do. Should we have need of their counsel, we will not hesitate to summon you. Peace. Give our regards to Tataru, won't you?